stupid. Hey everybody. So I'm back with another video. As you can see from this amazing template here, what I wanted to do was provide you just pretty much 5 tips of anything, or 5 ways to help grow and monetize your YouTube channel in 2021. I have it broken down in 5 different ways. With that, one way I wanted to start off was with brand identity. I think this is probably the most important step. And just for me, I understand, and I didn't go to school for this or anything, but I know just, making YouTube channels and doing research. So if anything, this stupid channel that I have here is probably my 5th channel. And this is something that I want to take on and I want to keep, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to help other people understand important ways beyond Facebook. But on Facebook, it will be incorporated into some videos involving those 5 steps. But with this, I wanted to focus on brand identity. It is important in a way because you want to be able to stand out, and that's something that I'll go over briefly. So I have some links and I'll be going off some websites because I think it's important to be able to utilize people and what they know and what they've researched in ways in which other people can learn. Okay, so brand identity. I mean, some people may be asking, what is brand identity? So I put up the definition because some people may not know. Okay, so simply put, and I'll go ahead and read it. So what is brand identity? Brand identity is the visible elements of a brand, such as color, design, and logo, that identify and distinguish the brand in consumers' minds. Brand identity is distinct from brand image. The former correspond to the intent behind the branding and the way a company does the following, all to cultivate a certain image in consumers' minds. So chooses its name, designs its logo, uses colors, shapes, and other visual elements in products and promotions, crafts a language in its advertisements, trains employees to interact with customers. So with that, it also mentions brand image is the actual result of these efforts, successful or not unsuccessful. So I know a lot of times people get brand identity as well as brand image confused in a way, but they kind of work hand in hand. But with brand identity, this will help your brand image. And I think with most people starting off as beginners, because I mean, essentially we're all beginners, we have to find a way to kind of make our own way and our own path so that people are able to respond to what we have available as creators. So we're all content creators, but we need to be able to stand out, visually, and there's other key components into it. Okay, so I wanted to just kind of go over a couple things, and this video won't be long, but it's some key things that I wanted to discuss and kind of go over with the help of others, and links that I'll have available in the description below. So with brand identity, I think it's important to go over some key components. And with that, we have, thumbnail design. So beyond having what's available with your videos, of course, you want to be able to stand out. And just as an example, this is what I have for this particular one. And it isn't extreme. It isn't, the best design, but it is something that I wanted to put together. So if I'm trying to make it a point for you guys to click on something, I want to involve the things that will be talked about as far as brand identity and actually helping grow and monetize your YouTube page. So you can see certain things as far as the 4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers. Of course, we want to monetize and make money. We have a bit right here in regards to a congratulations to a page monetization enabled. We got the plaques here, we got the YouTube, we got the chart, money, and with that, it's the focal point, which is brand. Okay, so we understand not only having actual content. We need to help people see a reason to actually want to click on our videos. So it kind of works hand in hand, and that goes back to brand identity, which is helping your brand image, which will help you be successful, or if not going about it the right way, you can in fact be unsuccessful. So with that, colors, shapes, other visual elements, and products and promotions. So what I'm doing is wanting to promote my page, and I want to be successful at it. So it's me understanding that there's some things that we want to see visually, as a way to be successful. So we want to be successful, and we want these 4,000 watch hours. We want the 1,000 subscribers in order to what we want to monetize, and that's a part of our brand identity, which is going to help hit these things. Okay. So with that, we got some thumbnail designs, which I think is also very, 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 very key. Okay. So I'm just going to go through quickly, and this is just going to give you an idea of some things, and again, this will be in the description below, and I'll go through some other pages and kind of go over what could help you. But I'm just going to touch on a couple things here and just kind of read off and kind of give you an idea. And this is just me researching, so research is important, but this is just me going over different things that will in fact help others who are trying to figure out how they can work on their brand identity, and what are some things that people will be looking for that can actually help, as far as design and the aesthetic of your brand. Okay. Um, so they talk about a lot of things, but I'll go down that list of those 11 things that they talk about. So including title, text to deliver content. So it kind of gives you an idea of ways in which you can include the text to deliver context. I'm sorry. Use the best font style. Okay, and it's different ways that you could go about having that necessary font style. And again, I know everybody isn't the best at designing, and what I do recommend, and I'm not being sponsored in anything in any kind of way, but Fiverr is definitely going to be a good way for you guys to actually um, get some assistance, because they actually have people who really want to work and be a part of actually assisting with your brand identity. And again, I'm not in any way being sponsored or anything, or there's no type of business relationship, but I have used Fiverr, and I still currently use it for some outside business things. But this is a good way, and they are very affordable, because you got to think people are actually fighting over not fighting, but competing over ways in which they can make money and kind of get their stuff out there as freelance, graphic designers or people that make business cards and logo design. So just to kind of put it out there. Just kind of following up with the different ways in which help for your thumbnail designs. So using the best font style, fine contrast and bright background, so you can kind of see what they have available with the font, as well as the pictures in the background. So that bright background, as well as that font that can go along with that. Using relevant and great images. So, of course, we got what's available, and I'm sure they made, as part of their brand, they got cakes. So they got visual, they got the images that help with the visual for what they're trying to do as far as a chocolate cake, and you see a chocolate cake. Okay. Include an image of the face, make eye contact with the viewer. Actually, as you know, when I think about it, when I look at thumbnails, and it's crazy, when I see someone that posts such a thumbnail, and they're looking at me, or it seems as though they're looking at me, it does actually make me want to click on it, like they're speaking to me directly with the text. So I think with this, and what it's saying, including an image of the face, make eye contact with the viewer, this actually helps. So it kind of personalizes and helps attract you to want to actually click on the link, or the video. Consistency, of course, and I actually want to read this because this is important. So consistency is an important step in the thumbnail. It allows the audience to understand the concept of your videos. There should be consistency in thumbnail design, such as layouts, font size and style, color scheme, and other relevant stuff. So I think that's definitely important, because with having a brand, you don't want it to be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to, have a layout, a font size, a style, and color scheme that people could actually recognize. And I'll go more into that in a second. analyze your competitor. So I think it's always good to research, not to steal anyone's ideas or anything like that, but to be able to look and have comparative research, so that way you can understand in ways in which you could be better or even better than the competition. So I do always recommend kind of seeing those people that are in your same niche or that are creating similar content, see what they're doing. And I'm sure they'll be doing the same with you, but actually trying to figure out how you could be better and get some ideas and how you could utilize what you've learned and what you've researched to provide better designs for your brand identity. So 8, create a design for a small screen. And this just kind of goes in regards to, I think what they're talking about really is just having the ability to alter necessary designs for, say, mobile devices. And really, with this link, you can go ahead and check that out. Optimize for different devices, and I think this kind of ties into it as well. So the world is living on smart devices such as mobile phones, laptops, and tablets. So it kind of goes into how you want to be able to have a user friendly design that'll be available. Because sometimes what'll happen, and I know for me, you'll have a design and it shows great on the laptop or a tablet, but then you have smaller devices, so it may be bigger and it doesn't necessarily fit, or the ratio isn't correct for what's available on different devices. So keeping that in mind. Perfect YouTube thumbnail size, and this is something that you could utilize, such as for Adobe Spark. They actually have it set up to where you can resize, and it'll provide you the necessary thumbnail size. But for those that do not know, the thumbnail size is 1280 pixels by 720, and then they also have 640 pixels. So that's just something if you guys wanted to know, but most people already know. And then lastly, use the best thumbnail makers. Okay, what I recommend doing, and I've talked about this in other videos for Facebook and helping build your brand and your pages from there, but always use, and we're all starting out to want to monetize, use what's free. Okay, most of us don't have the necessary money to buy these big or expensive softwares, or even some apps are pretty expensive for what they do or they don't do. But again, I'll push what's available and what I know to actually work for me. So one thing is, in fact, what we have available for Adobe Spark. Let's pull up Canva. Is definitely a good one, and a lot of people use this, and it's free. Okay, you can kind of step into what they have available for what you could pay for, but you want to utilize your resources efficiently and effectively, and free helps. And they have a lot to search through, social media, events, marketing, a lot of different things that can help you have your content be of quality. And then the quantity is there because you can make a lot of it for free. So I recommend utilizing these things, as well as GIMP. GIMP is like a Photoshop alternative, and I do recommend downloading this. I use it. I used to have Photoshop, and I went to school for visual arts, but this is just as good. It's some things that you can't do, but for those that are beginners, you wouldn't know, because I mean you're starting off new. But I definitely recommend utilizing GIMP. It's free. You can download it. They got tutorials available. You can go on YouTube and figure out tutorials to actually learn how to make logos or design, and it's definitely user friendly. Okay. So with this, we just going over, ideas in regards to having catchy, fun, and cool looking thumbnail designs. We can kind of look at what's available for people that are actually doing it. So I put up a link, and I kind of wanted to research and figure out some good YouTube thumbnails to kind of compare to what they have available here when they talk about different ways to help your design stand out. So you can kind of see here, and I don't really know many of these YouTubers, but you can kind of see how they have different things and what they talk about as far as standing out being a YouTuber and have those necessary thumbnails. So I know in here they kind of talk about having those pictures and those images, so you can kind of see, I guess, Jenna Marbles. I'm not sure who that is. You got PewDiePie, and it kind of shows how the text and the images can kind of help. I really like this one because it's straight to it. You got the guy making that eye contact. You know it has something to do with Chrome, so you see the Chrome logo here. How to use the Uber Suggest Chrome extension, and then he has this as an alternative as well. So it's just different things that are actually helping, and you could see the necessary images, which helps, and you see they're making eye contact. So you got different fonts that they're using, and I think that's great. So it's just examples of different things that you could do that kind of coincide with what they have available here as a means to give you ideas on what you should do to have thumbnails that kind of stand out. So I think these are actually great, and I just wanted to show you guys what they have available for help, and then what it could look like for reference. Also, what I wanted to get into, so when we talk about brand identity, and again, research, figure things out, and this is just me trying to help myself be better as well as anyone else. Okay, so I researched and wanted to figure out what is brand identity. So 5 brand identity examples marketers can learn from. So we all want to learn, we all want to get better. So I thought it was interesting to kind of see what they had available, or what they chose to speak on brand identity. So they mention 5 brands and businesses that we all know. I believe the first one, so MasterCard, brand identity that stands the test of time. So we all know and can recognize MasterCard, which I thought was dope that they brought that up. Casper, an overnight success driven by a strong brand identity. So not too familiar with Casper. I think I've seen some commercials and things of that nature, but I don't use them. PayPal, of course, I use PayPal, which I think is great. So they kind of, and it says a consistent brand identity across the digital and physical worlds. Also, they have Coca-Cola. So I think Coca-Cola is dope because with it being 130 years old, or 131 possibly now, just based off the link and the time it was published, but you can recognize not only by the font, so anything that we're incorporating as far as colors, fonts, and how they push and marketing, which is a whole nother conversation, you do recognize it. And I think that's what's important for people that are starting off, whether beginners or people that have been in the game. You want to make sure that you're able to have an identity and a brand, because ultimately we are a brand. We have content, we have a product that we want to sell to people, which is our content and our sales. So we want people to be like, okay, I know who this is, I know what stupid is. So we have necessary color schemes, and we can go back to this. So a name, so your name, that logo, the colors, the shapes, and the visual elements. So there's a lot of things that go into it that are necessary, but are helpful for what? And that's to be successful. So we don't want to be unsuccessful, but we want to be able to be successful in our efforts to utilize and help people understand what our brand identity is. So with that, and brand identity. And again, I'll always speak about what's free or what's available to us. I wanted to, because I know, and what they talked about as well. And let me go back when they mentioned, the whole world is living on smart devices. So with knowing that, so what beyond what we have available as a typical PC or a Mac or a laptop or a desktop, we got to look at the alternatives that we have as far as brand identity and making logos and thumbnails and editing and making necessary pictures or templates for our brand identity. I know it's important that we have certain apps. So I know people have they got Android and they got iPhone. I personally use Android. So I just wanted to briefly go over what they have available for, apps for Android for logo design, which is a part and which will aid in one of those first steps to help with your brand identity. So they have Adobe apps, of course, Canva, which I talked about, Dot Picked, Font Rush, Ibis Paint X, Iris Logo Maker by Shopify, Logo Maker Plus, Palette, Z Mobile Logo Maker. Now, a few of these I have never heard of. Okay, and most of these actually cost. Again, for me, I am all about what's available and what's free. Okay, so I always go back to Canva until I can really start making some money, and then maybe incorporating some graphic designers that I can have on my team, and a team of designers that can just really take everything over the top. I'm gonna use what I can use to have it look good and of quality, but knowing that while money is important, we know we want to start off with humble beginnings. Okay, and some people might have the money. So I think, again, I'll have the link in the description below, but these are just ideas of things that you can use. Canva, I definitely recommend Adobe, and that's what we have available for Adobe Spark, completely free. And you see I'm using it. Okay. So then we have what's available for iPhone, and I don't use iPhone, but a lot of people do. So you got an iPhone, and iPad, and believe they have some of the same available apps. Canva, Logo Maker, Shop, Adobe Photoshop Sketch, which I would recommend anything Adobe, Scopic Studio, Watercolor, Logo Maker, Hatchful, Logo Maker, Watermark Designer, Create, and Logo Creator. Okay, and then as you can see, some of these actually cost as far as possible purchases, and they don't seem like much, but in the scheme of things, while I recommend and condone things being free, you do want to invest in yourself. So while it might not be $50 or $60 or $100 or a few $100, most people can't afford $2.99 or $7.99, but I'll leave that up to you. But for me, I'm going to use what's free, and then I could tweak it and make it pop and happen for me as best as I need it to. But everybody has their own thing, and you could do it your way as you need it to. So just different apps for Android and iPhone. um, so then we also have what's available for software. So we're thinking about what we have available for our laptops and then our desktops. While I mentioned GIMP, which is totally free and works just as good as Adobe Photoshop, there's different programs, and they kind of give you what they have available as a breakdown of what's best about them. So Adobe Illustrator, best overall, as it mentions, a Logo Design Studio Pro, runner up to best overall. Design Hill, which I've never heard of, but some of these I will actually try to get into just to kind of switch it up and use things, because some apps and some software has different tools that others don't, that can help in your overall success as far as brand identity. Of course, Canva, best price. Taylor Brands, Canva, again, best for collaborating across teams, and Hatchful, which is a free software, which again I haven't heard of, but I definitely want to utilize. So again, this is another link that I want to include, and then that way you guys can kind of do your own research from what I have available from my research. So with that, really, guys, I really wanted to touch on a couple of things, and just kind of let you know what I thought was important as far as brand identity. So in a nutshell, again, brand identity is the visible elements of a brand, such as color, design, and logo, that identify and distinguish the brand in consumers' minds. Brand identity is distinct from brand image. The former corresponds to the intent behind the branding and the way a company does the following, all to cultivate a certain image in consumers' minds. So choosing a name, designs and its logo, colors, shapes, other visual elements and products and promotions, crafting a necessary language in its advertisements, and training employees to interact with customers. Overall, with that, you are the employee, you are the owner, and then we're interacting with our customers, because if anything, as mentioned, our content and what we have available is for our consumers, which is the people, which are the people that are watching our videos. Okay, so with this, a simple video that I wanted to put out and just kind of touch base, and again, in the description will be those necessary links that you guys can kind of check some things out and do your own research. It's definitely important to figure out what it is that you need to do to kind of, be different from the rest. I know for myself, I like to keep it simple. Some people may like things to be gaudy and super flashy and this and that, but that's all about our brand identity. How I identify with my brand and what people may like for me and appreciate for me may be different than the next person. But I hope in the multiple videos and the playlist that I'll be have available in the 5 ways, and I'll go back. So the 5 ways to grow and monetize your YouTube channel to 2021. Just different ways in which you could help and your brand identity, which will be important. Don't forget, use Adobe Spark. Super free. I think they have a lot of great things and they constantly update how you could utilize this, because a lot of things that are available here weren't available even months ago. But I wanted to let you know, I thank you guys for watching my videos and being a part of my channel. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share the video. I want to help in any and every way to help you guys make money and be the best possible content creators that you could be. And we got to start with brand identity. So I thank you and take care.
Stupid.